which could no longer be seen. However, Kanon felt like he could still hear that shrill, unpleasant laugh.
Ah, 愉快愉快。なぜに久しぶりの人の世はこうも愉快なのか。恋に狂え、黄金に狂え。そのどちらにも狂わぬものなど人間にあらず。なるほど。故に家具とは言い得たり。家具は人間に奉仕するために生み出される。そしてわらわは退屈なる千年の慰み者として人間を虐げる。そのわらわが家具を支配できぬとは、なんとも愉快な三すくみ。金蔵め、実に面白いことをしてくれる。家具め、わらわを撃てるか試みてみるがいい。
Oh.
今宵まきたる恋の種は2つ。すでにまきたる種と含めてこれで3つ。
Interesting.
ベアトリーチェ、なぜに私を一人この苦界に置き、私はこれほどまでに恋焦がれているのに応えようとせぬお前を永遠に憎む。
親方様、それ以上のお酒はお体に障ります。南條先生からもご注意を受けておられるのでは。
黙れ源氏。
源氏。
お前には分からぬ。我が嘆きも苦しみも分からぬ。お前だけは我が苦しみを理解してくれていると、お前だけは我が最古の友人であると信じているのに、なぜに理解できないというのか。おー、ベアトリーチェ、なぜ私だけを置き去りに。
なんだよ、家具って。わけわかんねえよ。
おお、おいたわしや女子
Oh, hey, Kumasao. Haven't seen you all fucking day.
寝室から聞こえてくるすすり泣く声に私は事情を知りつつもどうしようもないのでございます。すべては若すぎた二人と近すぎた距離、そして生まれた家柄が遠すぎたゆえの悲劇。私はただただお嬢様のお気持ちを汲み取り、足音を殺して静かに立ち去るのみなのでございます。
So is that it for episode 2? Was that just the whole point? Was that as like a big backstory? Or am I just scratching the surface? Is this like in episode 1 where I was like, ah, yeah, we gotta be getting close to the end, right? And it's like, I remember someone commenting like, no, you're not even halfway through, dude. What are you talking about?
それってどういう意味ですか、ジョージさん。
言葉通りの意味だよ。僕はまだ自分の城を築き上げてない。それができて初めて僕は一人前になれたと思えるんだ。その時君と結婚したい。
それはその
でもそれじゃもう僕の心が許せないんだ。だから君に婚約指輪を贈りたい。
婚約ですか。でもその私家具ですし。
そうだったね。じゃあ家具は人の言うことを聞かないとね。今君に贈るのにふさわしい指輪を作らせてる。 多分今度の親族会議の日には持っていけると思う。その時に送るから、どうか君の返事を聞かせてほしいんだ。君が僕の婚約、僕はその席でおじい様を含めた全ての親族の前で君との婚約を宣言する。
ジョージさん。
君と僕の仲をふさわしくないと咎める人たちはきっといる。
Yeah, I'm sure.
でもそいつらの顔を見る必要はない。
Sometimes you won't have much of a choice. Some tells me a certain someone might get all up in your face to where you can't really look away.
君はその瞳の中に僕君を必ず幸せにする。それだけは絶対に約束するから。
Uh-huh. So that gives us a bit more backstory on that.
どのように実るのか楽しみでならない。熟れに過ぎて腐り落ちる果実の駅に黄金の蝶たちは舞い降りぬ。今より収穫の日が待ち遠しい。宴の時はまだかまだか。
So what's the answer? The first... Okay, we are just scratching the surface. Gotcha. So we got the whole backstory and everything. Okay. Okay. We got this long-ass backstory. You know, I should have expected. What? I expected one of these episodes to be short? Fuck, what an idiot, right? So we got that a whole backstory. All that fucking... How long now? Fuck, we're what, 4 hours deep into this episode? This big 4-hour backstory just for us to start it all over. Okay. 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 Let's go. They had eaten breakfast at a coffee shop in the station building. By chance, the inside of the shop had been decorated with Halloween colors, since it was October. Maria had seemed to be awfully pleased with that. For quite some time, she talked loudly inside the train without wanting to have a Halloween festival, without caring that she was attracting the attention of others. Oh, okay. It's still more backstory. That was just the backstory on the relationship between, Shannon, George, Kanan, and Jessica. Now, we need some backstory on Rosa and Maria, see what's going on with them. Then I guess we're going to get some backstory on Battler, his dad, and Kyrie. Hell yeah. Pile it on. We also got a little bit of backstory between, George and his parents, Jessica and her parents. Okay. We saw a little bit behind the curtain on Quinto's situation. Okay. I guess we're just going to get a whole fucking family backstory, huh? Is that what this episode is going to be? Okay. Halloween is popular in Europe and America, but people aren't that familiar with it in Japan. The shopping district was colorfully decorated with orange pumpkins. But the costume parades of children demanding sweets and saying trick or treat were nowhere in sight. While it wasn't completely full inside the train, it was really packed, with almost all the seats occupied by passengers. Maria was making a fuss among them, stomping her feet on the seat while Rosa scowled at her. Rosa had warned her many times to lower her voice, but Maria hadn't obeyed her at all. Once Maria got like this, no matter how much she tried to explain the situation or calm her, she wouldn't listen. Before, Rosa used to pamper Maria and give in to her at times like this, but that had probably been a mistake. Surely Maria had gained the mistaken impression that throwing a tantrum long enough would make her mother give up and do what Maria said. Rosa had realized that error with the help of an educational book, and since then, she'd hardened the part of her heart that wanted to pamper her beloved daughter. Her mutual understanding with Maria began to grow weaker and weaker, and she began to get discouraged by her own powerlessness more and more often.
あなたにあげるお菓子はありません。さっき朝ごはんを食べたでしょ。
お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃう。お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃう。
Hmm. A stout old woman who was sitting nearby as Maria stomped her feet, picked a candy out of her handbag and held it out to Maria.
お菓子もらえた、お菓子もらえた。見て見て、ママ。ママ、ハッピーハロウィン。
Adorable.
こらマリア、勝手に人からお菓子をもらっちゃダメでしょ。返しなさい。
いいんですよ。元気なお嬢さんですこと。おいくつです？
Maybe there was no malice in the old woman's words. However, Rosa seemed to find that remark extremely humiliating.
マリア、知らない人からお菓子をもらっちゃいけないっていつも言ってるでしょ。
おー、おい、これはマリアがもらったの。おい、やだ、マリアの。
話しなさい。
God damn.
ママの言うことを聞けっていつも言ってるでしょ。
マリアの。マリアの。
その言うのをやめなさいって言ってるでしょ。
Rosa reflexively hit Maria violently on her cheek. In a flash, Maria started crying loudly. Rosa immediately took the candy from Maria's hand and pushed it back towards the dumbfounded old woman sitting next to them.
うちの子に勝手にお菓子を与えないでください。
God, I fucking hate Rosa.
ごめんなさい。
Breathing heavily, Rosa once again held the candy out to the old woman. After getting flustered about what she should say for a few moments, perhaps the old woman realized that her actions may have troubled this parent and child. She accepted the candy back, apologizing. After that, Rosa finally took notice of her surroundings. Yeah, her daughter's clothes were all messed up and she was crying and shouting with her nose dripping. Everyone was fucking staring at her. Yep. Because you're a piece of shit. And there were many dumbfounded passengers watching them. Except for the sound of the train running, the interior was completely silent. Yeah, it's kind of like everyone on the train just watched a mother beat her child. Fortunately, that pitiful silence didn't last more than a short while. However, it was followed by an even more painful atmosphere as everyone began to whisper. Good. Maria shouted, cried, kicked, and stomped her feet as usual, paying no heed to the people sitting around her. Impulsively, Rosa tried to slap her again, but she noticed the cold eyes of the people on the train, and couldn't. Good. Yes, everyone, stare that bitch down. Give her the nastiest fucking looks you can. When the train stopped, Rosa forcibly pulled Maria's arm and got off, almost dragging her daughter along. Maria didn't stop crying. Rosa took her to the end of the platform and hit her cheek again. At the moment she was hit, Maria stopped crying for an instant, but before long she shouted and cried even more than before. Overwhelmed with emotion, Rosa grabbed the nape of Maria's neck and dragged her, tugging at her hair. God fucking damn it. I hate this so fucking much.
ママ痛い、ママ痛い。
だからうるさいって言ってんのよ。そのをやめなさいって言ってるでしょ。そんなんだからクラスにお友達ができないんでしょ。もっとしっかりしてよ。なんであんたはいつまでも頭の中が幼稚園なのよ。どうしてママの言うことが聞けないの。どうして。
With those severe words, Rosa hit Maria's cheek over and over again. The more Maria cried and shouted, the more Rosa hit her. The more Maria was hit, the more intensely she cried and shouted.
そのをどうしてやめられないの。あんたがそんなんだから友達ができないのよ。あんたがそんなんだからパパの出張が終わらないのよ。あんたがそんなんだから私が。
お客さん、いかがさ
Yes,
れましたか？
please step in, random station worker.
何かご用ですか？
Yeah, he probably wants you to stop beating your kid in public. And I'd rather you stop beating her altogether, but Jesus Christ. The one who timidly called to her was the station attendant. Rosa glared at the attendant with a look that said, "Don't butt into the problems of a mother and child, stranger." Of course, the attendant surely hadn't wanted to get involved either. However, Rosa had been yelling on the platform for a much longer time than she had imagined. Her emotional scolding had led the passengers on the platform to advise the attendant to call out to her. Rosa yelled at the attendant, saying not to worry anymore since they'd be getting on the next train. And then finally, or rather for the second time, she noticed the passengers on the platform staring at her from a distance. Good. You piece of shit. Rosa sweat slightly and felt a breeze make her sweat go cold, tormenting her. Good. Maria still kept on crying, shielding her own head. You ever think that maybe your kid has, you know, issues because you keep beating her fucking brains in? Why is my camera fucking up? Of course, if this beating continued, she'd probably keep crying indefinitely. Motherfucker, if this beating continued, she'd wind up dead. Fucking brain damaged at the least, which she probably already is. You wanna know why she acts the way she does? Because you fucking beat her upside the head. Not saying fucking beating the shit out of her on any other location of her body would be any better, but Jesus Christ. You certainly fucking did. As the terrible heat in Rosa's head faded, she knew she had surrendered her soul to evil again. Rosa fell to her knees and hugged Maria, whose face was all soggy with tears and mucus. Oh, God. Finally, Maria realized that her mother was her mother again. She clung to her mother's body and cried, burying her face in her mother's chest. Can we go back to Shannon and Cannon, please? It's just depressing and it's pissing me off. No, you try to play that fucking guilt-tripping shit. Don't forgive her, Rose. Don't forgive her, Maria. Stand strong. Tell your mother to fuck off. No. No. Hate is justified in this situation. No, you're not, Maria. God damn it, Maria. That's not true, Maria. God damn it. I am so upset right now. So very upset right now. That fucking trying to justify it by like, oh yeah, no, it was just a bad witch. It wasn't actually your mom. Your mom would never do that to you. You gotta trust your mom on that one. It was just the evil witch doing it. Oh. 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 For a long time, the two of them hugged each other, asking for and sharing words of forgiveness. Forgiveness that isn't deserved, fucking bitch. After a while, they calmed down and both moved back at the same time. Maria's face and Rosa's face, both deep red after crying their eyes out.
マリアはハロウィンのお祭りがしたいの？
ジョージお兄ちゃんやジェシカお姉ちゃんにかぼちゃマシュマロを見せてあげたかった。
Fucking face itches. It was candy they'd been selling near the cash register at the shop where they'd eaten breakfast. Fancy sweet that had a big orange marshmallow in the shape of a jack-o'-lantern attached to the tip of a stick. Mary had wanted it, and had insistently pestered Rosa for it. Rosa had refused, saying that there was no way she could buy sweets right after breakfast. All she wanted to do was just show it to her cousins. You fucking cunt.
この町に売っているかどうかわからないけど、降りて探してみようか。
And that's why they were late to the plane taking off. That's why they were late.
ママ大好き。愛してる。ありがとう。
私もよ、マリア。
Yeah, do you?
愛してる
Do you really? Fucking bitch. The truth was that they didn't have time to waste loitering around at a stopover station. If they missed the airplane, they'd fall half a day behind schedule. So she should have left home with more time to spare, but she'd ended up leaving late after choosing Maria's clothes. Because of that, Rosa had been a bit impatient since the morning. She looked at the clock. They had to get on the next train immediately. But her daughter firmly joined hands with her to go buy the sweet with her mother, and that hand was warm. To Rosa, as she was now, it was more important to renew her bonds with Maria. Yeah, fuck yourself. To her, Maria was not only a beloved daughter, she was everything Rosa had, and look what you did to her. Look what you continue to do to her. Bitch. Fortunately, they could see a big supermarket right in front of the station. They might not be able to find exactly the same sweet, but Maria would probably be happy with a similar one. Besides, Rosa couldn't show up with a face swelled from crying. And Maria couldn't show up with a face swelled from beating the fuck beat out of it. She must fix her makeup.
あれと全く同じマシュマロは見つからないかもしれないけど、似たようなお菓子、それでいとこのみんなを一緒に驚かそうね。
ママと一緒に買うお菓子なら何でもいい。
Poor Maria. My sweet Maria, you don't deserve this. They exited through the turnstiles at the station in this unknown town. Maria walked across the pedestrian crossing together with her mother, chuckling to herself as though she was walking in an amusement park. Both faces were still deep red, but the two of them, mother and child, smiled warmly at each other without any restraint.